Well, good rocking Dupsy certainly was very good. And here we are, downtown Lafayette. I don't know what sort of an excuse one should have to go in here. I suppose it's just that sort of a place.
Everybody, you got a light?
Certainly have. Certainly have, in fact. There you are. What's that cigarette, then? It's a jazz cigarette, mustn't it?
You got it.
Where's the topless and bottomless? This doesn't look like a topless and bottomless bar. I mean, this isn't very erotic, is it? Mind you, I haven't paid to get in, so that's okay. Pardon me. This is like trad jazz. Excuse me. Hold on, sorry. Busy here. So trad jazz is popular, as you can see. Pardon me. Very popular in fact, you get people playing it better in London pubs than you do in New Orleans, because in New Orleans they sort of just carry on, but in London, British people, they listen very carefully to every record so they can, you know, play it properly. Hence, you get better and more trad jazz in Britain than you probably do in the whole of America. Well, they don't like it, it's their own, so why should they? This is hip. The trads here are a lot more hip and cool than a lot of the New Orleans ones. Of course, the one thing you've been expecting to see in this film has been, you've seen a lot of stuff. Seeing that topless and bottomless sign, you're thinking, I'm going to see something pretty shocking in here. Well, you're right, because this is a pretty shocking place. Be warned, if you're sensitive, now you should turn off, because this is one of the high points of our film. Nervous people, please just turn off or switch over to the other channel at this point, because now, ladies and gentlemen, we give you some sex and violence with Rick Mayo! Absolutely grotesque and hideous. You're saying to yourself, well, that's not the sort of thing that I'd expect to find in a New Orleans bar. I also wouldn't expect to find a pint glass in a New Orleans bar. We're giving the clues. It means that we could be in London. Excuse me, pal. In fact, it not only means we could be in London, it rather looks like London. Below me, Radiator, it is London. Well, this is confusing, you're saying to yourself. I thought this was a film about Louisiana and New Orleans and all that sort of thing. That's where I want to be. So how am I going to get back across the Atlantic Ocean to the swamps of Louisiana?
London, where the dirt says hot and the label says not. London, the very word is like a crashing, splintering blow to the skull. Let us see what horror will unfold. The young man must return to Louisiana. How can he do so? By what means can he hope to cross the great expanse of water that lies between him and his bloody fate?
By boat, quite obviously, is how we would cover an expanse of water. This is the Mississippi, and it's impossible to get to New Orleans in the route that we're travelling without going across the Mississippi. It's also a thing that we should see in our film because it is about the South, and the South is about the Mississippi, one of the world's longest rivers. Also, a trip to this part of the world would be incomplete without a look at the swamps, so I think we'll have a look at those in a minute. But first of all, I think you want to get off of my bonnet, or hood, as they'd say in this country. Editorially, we decided that it was best not to show you too much of the swamps, because in fact we decided they're bleeding boring. Just a load of snakes and adders and all that mincing about tends to get a bit dull. We've been driving now for ages and we still haven't hit New Orleans. I'm getting a bit tired. Places like this Duke's restaurant and bar, you're always tempted to pull in and stop, but you're never really sure whether it's a good idea, you know, what's going to happen to you. Highway 10 West, that's where we're going to go. It'll be a relief, really, once we eventually hit the city, because I expect you at home are getting fairly bored, and I'm getting a bit sick of sitting in this car for about 3 weeks. Where does he sleep? Where does he piss, you're asking yourselves? Well, it's a question I asked myself, let me tell you. Ah, here it is! At last, the answer to our dreams, the Crescent City itself, the Isle of Jazz, the land of dreams itself, New Orleans, the city. We've eventually hit it. Isn't that wonderful? Look, feast your eyes on that. This is what we came here. This is what the journey was for. We can't go into the city without checking into the hotel. This is a typical New Orleans hotel room, or a typical American hotel room, because they're all high standard everywhere you go. You know, they always have phones and television, all that sort of thing. What do we do when we first get to the hotel room? Well, we unpack our baggage in the drawers provided. Also, checking the drawer whilst unpacking our baggage for any pornographic literature that the previous occupant might have left, or money, or anything like that. Nothing, unfortunately. There's the odd Gideon's Bible, and in fact, coincidentally enough, a brochure advertising having a holiday in Britain. Well, let's check what's on the television, because that's how you discover what a local place is like, by looking at the local television stations or listening to the radio. So let's see what we've got on. Nonsense. Utter nonsense. Ah, now look, see, they sell the tube around the world, and here it is with me, coincidentally with Dr. John, you see. Again, it's a whole world of coincidences in which we live. Fabulous song, there's such a night, Dr. John.
Such a night. Such a night. Got to steal away. Time seemed right. Baby, your eyes met mine. At a glance, you let me know that this was my chance. You came here with my best friend Jim. Here I am, and I'm trying to steer you away from him. If I don't do it, you know somebody else will. If I don't do it, you know somebody else will. If I don't do it, you know somebody else will. Child, somebody else will. And it's such a night. I mean, it's such a night. Sweet confusion under the moonlight. Such a night. Such a night. My ears, my heart just skipped a beat. Told me we could slip away down a dark end of the street. Came here with my best friend Jim. Here I am, and I'm trying to steer you away from him. If I don't do it, you know somebody else will. If I don't do it, you know somebody else will. You know somebody else will. If I don't do it, child, somebody else will. And it's such a night. Such a night.
Dr. John, absolutely brilliant. Well, I'm going to go and have a look around the streets, soak up the atmosphere, but what I want to do is get some of the history of the old traditional jazz, because we haven't dealt with that at all, and a lot of people are going to be writing and complaining unless it's absolutely written in black and white for them. So, I shall get the room service. Hello, I'd like a complete history of jazz in my room immediately. Thank you so much. Blow me, how quick. Come in, come in. Hello.
I believe you asked a special load of the Jazzary Historical Focus, May.
Absolutely, perfect, yes. Well, where do we begin?
Well, look. Now, New Orleans was from the purchase which Napoleon gave through as the biggest bargain in throws the Americans, $100,000 through.
Really?
And so this polyglot of the nation of people who's all mixed together. There's the poor Humboldt of the slave, which came through form, Abraham Linklater, as you know, which gave this special through for some of the people all of the time, the emancipation of the slave through for it.
Tell me about the funeral march.
Well, here is a real thunderbolt. because you see, the African blues forkers, which came through in the 7-note trill, they march very slowly, moany, and low. They got them to shovel the body deep, and as soon as the soil fall down, and plop, and plop it on the coffin, so they march you through for, and then it was knees up Mother Brodie. Oh, joyful, trippy how. And the trumpy blow, which they inherit from the Civil War, they get this trumpy up in the embouchure, which was bloody fall, blasting the daylights out of their thorcus, mate. Wonderful. Can I tell you an anecdote? Louis blew a bum note, Oliver blasted corn out of his mouth and kicked him out the bum loader. There was a folly. Oh, dear.
So, what you mentioned embouchure, is that something to do with trumpet playing?
Yes, embouchure is for the woodwind around, but the trumpy blow, blasty howl.
Spitting.
And you know, yes, and it's so hot, as they came back from the cemetery, they blasted it out from Kingdom Creole coal.
Oh.
This is an example of the sweat and dribbly howl, the very hottest music in Kingdom Creole.
Oh,
yes.
The weather's always fairly hot and sunny here. There's this place here which is really bizarre because it's called Santa's Quarters, and in there everything is Christmassy all year round.